So, Womanium Global Quantum Plus AI Industry Projects 2024, we have three projects with three key partners. The best thing about these projects is that these are not just key or maybe toy problems. These are real world applications, and you will have a chance to see what is actually happening with the industry and how you can all contribute towards real world use cases. At the very end, there would be project certifications to everyone who participates in the project. Once again, repeating myself, these projects are independent of your training courses. So whether you do the training courses, get the certificates over there, complete all the lectures, complete all the modules on Canvas, that is absolutely wonderful, but that's not necessary for you to participate in the projects. The projects are completely independent. So whether you're starting today or have been with us uh, with Womanium for the past month or so, or you might be joining in a week or two as well. New participants are also welcome. So this is completely independent of the lectures. Three key partners, three very real world projects for you to solve. And at the very end, all the ones who would be completing the project and successfully submitting it would be receiving project certifications. Apart from that, we also have Womanium Grant, which is a new concept we have launched this year. So at the very end of the project, the winning teams will receive grants from Womanium, and these are substantial financial support which Womanium will be providing for various activities. I'll talk about this in a minute. And the third big thing which you might be looking forward to is the QSL Quantum Solutions Launchpad Fellowships available for everyone out here. So at the very end, once you complete all the projects, the best projects will be shortlisted. The best participants from these projects will be shortlisted, and all those best participants will be receiving paid fellowship opportunities with Womanium, with the QSL team, to further develop their projects with our industry partners. The entire timeline, just to summarize, is it's from July 5th to August 9th. Today is still June, so we are just announcing the projects right now and give you a little bit of time and a buffer time to start creating your own teams. So if you are viewing this video after July 5th or below July 5th, this is still a time to form your teams. The main project starts from July 5th, although if you already have a team present, you can already start working on it. No restrictions over there. So let me start with the first project, or maybe a quick timeline. So as I mentioned, July to August, we have the project. And at the end of it, once we are completed with the projects in August, we'll finalize the winners. We will declare all the awards, the grants, everything from Womanium side with our three key partners. And from September onwards, the selected few best participants will enter into a paid fellowship opportunity with the Womanium team with the QSL program. So that is how this will be structured. And with that, I can start introducing the first project. So, very brief overview of one of the projects with our partner, Naval Nuclear Lab. This is about using quantum and AI tools for climate and environmental simulations. This particular project is open-ended in the sense that we do not have clear ideas for you to start working on. It's absolutely open. Be wild, get your own ideas approved by the Womanium team and start working on it. For instance, and just to guide you in a better way, we have suggested some ideas. But again, these ideas are only Womanium suggestions over here. For example, modeling the interaction of light with water droplets. Use quantum or AI applications for that. Or maybe simulate battery and photovoltaic materials using quantum chemistry or AI algorithms, right? So these are just some of the ideas which we have floated over here. Otherwise, you are absolutely free to come up with your own ideas, own suggestions on using how do we use quantum and AI toolsets for climate, for environment, for Earth simulations. Everything is open over here. The second project I would like to introduce today is for quantum machine learning for complicated detection. This is a bit more on a focused task kind of thing. So in the automobile industry and with a lot of other industry, there are factory lines. And over there's a lot of process going on, a lot of manufacturing going on, which makes it pretty difficult for people to identify different defects in the material itself and eventually like first you detect a fault and then eventually you rectify that fault. But due to these ever continuously moving machine lines across different factories and different construction sites, this entire process is cumbersome. So we are looking forward to your ideas on how you can use quantum machine learning or classical machine learning to do image classification models, how to pre-process the data, implement new novel QML models, visualize the results, and ultimately come up with a problem set or maybe a solution to a problem set which detects the defective production part in the process line in a very fast and efficient manner. So this is how the entire project is structured. We have a clear goal over here, and this is being done with the front of our ITWM Institute. The third project is with Classic, and this is one which is more oriented to people who are coming from an academia background or those who want to work on the research and development side of algorithms itself. So this is not exactly having an industrial use case, but instead this is more focused on how do we improve our algorithms themselves, or how do we improve the understanding of different set of algorithms in the quantum ecosystem over time using the Classic platform. So the goal over here will be to implement some of the classical, or I should say, the more user-friendly quantum algorithms out there, and come up with the best or maybe the most efficient manner on how you encode or implement these quantum algorithms. So these are the three projects. Our partners, US Naval Nuclear Lab, Fraunhofer Institute from Germany, and Classic from Israel, all three of them will be describing a little bit more about what the project is. But now I would like to take a minute on describing how can you participate in this project. So the first thing, before I go on to how do you participate, is just to highlight that all the participants over here can get something out of the project, right? Obviously, the best of the best will get selected for the Womanium QSL fellowships. But even if you're not getting selected for QSL fellowships, you can win certain Womanium grants. And these grants is a new concept with Womanium, which we have recently formalized. This entire structure is to encourage and support your quantum journey forward. Again, I'll come to this in a minute, what exactly is the grant structure, how do you win those grants, and what all it entails. But even to those beginners who are just stepping into quantum, who are just learning about AI, you all can still participate in the project, successfully complete certain tasks, and earn a project certification at the end. And the certification is a huge deal. At least someone who is just starting out, you can put it on your CVs, on your portfolios, on your LinkedIn profiles, because that then gives a recognition that, yeah, someone has participated and successfully completed a project, industry relevant project, and at the end of it, earned a project certification to showcase for all your efforts for the 1 month or so. Describing all these possibility of winnings for all of you. First one is project certifications. Like I mentioned, if you all can successfully submit your project solution by August 9th on both GitHub and Canvas, you are eligible to earn the project certification. This certification is independent of any courses, any curriculum being tracked parallelly to the Womanium program. So all those curriculums, Canvas modules, which you are doing on assignments, lectures, everything is independent. So you can earn this project certification even if you do not complete any of the lectures of there. How do we submit it on GitHub or Canvas? I will go on to those details a little later in this lecture, but I'll cover all those stuff too. The second thing which you can potentially win is Womanium grant. So all of those who will be participating in the project and who would be successfully submitting the projects will be eligible for Womanium grant. And these grants are financial support from the Womanium team to help you continue your quantum journeys forward. What do we mean by continuing your journeys? It's absolutely up to you. Whether you want to attend a conference, let's say an international conference happening at some XYZ place, and you need travel support to go to that conference, attend that conference. It could be a technical conference or leadership conference. Womanium will be supporting you with that grant money. If you want to perhaps organize a local quantum workshop or a local quantum chapter at your own universities, at your own institutes, at your own corporate industries, Womanium will provide you with the financial support to set all those things up. Perhaps someone is more interested in media, right? Content creation. You could create your own YouTube quantum series, right? About education, about teaching new people about quantum stuff. Again, YouTube, everyone can create a video today with someone's mobile phone, but if you are really interested and motivated to do something like that, Womanium is happy to support you with financial grants to help buy the best equipment, maybe like a ring light or the best camera or the best laptop equipments to help you support your journey over there. And people might also be interested in taking their projects even further. So whatever you develop during this Womanium phase, if you need real quantum hardware credit to build upon that project, actually try your solutions on real hardware, again, these grants will help you support your journey through that. We can also offer mentorship on a case-by-case basis if you want to take your projects even further and maybe publish a paper or present at a conference. Everything is possible. The opportunities are really wide open over here. So I would suggest build the best project and then win these grants, because these are really, really useful to propel you to the next level in your quantum career. The final thing I would like to share is QSL Fellowship. And this is something about the very cream of the students out there, right? So only the best of the best of the best during the entire project phase will be selected for QSL fellowships. What is the QSL fellowships? These are very limited fellowships available with the Womanium QSL team, where you would be partnering with us, partnering with our industry partners, and working on the same problem which you built in 1 month for the next 3 to 6 months. So we'll be expanding on that problem under the mentorship and guidance of some of the best research scientists out there. But at the same time, you'll also get paid on a monthly stipend basis. These QSL stipends will be, and QSL fellowships will be starting from September 1. So the timeline is like you build the project for the next month, then you get selected for these fellowships, and at the August timeline, we'll start recruiting the best participants for these fellowships. In September, these fellowships will be starting for 3 to 6 month timeline. In case you are selected for a fellowship and you do not have availability at that particular time period, we are open to discussing that too. It could be a part-time fellowship. It could be a full-time thing. Maybe we can start your fellowships a little later if that suits your timeline. We are pretty flexible over here. But yeah, the entire goal over here is to just bring the best participants and not just have them do a project or win some grants at the end of it and be done with it. We really want to take your journey to the next level. And with these fellowships, you will be able to work on that very same problem which you won an award for and build and contribute something to the real world, to the real industry. So these are the 3 prizes, I would say, or 3 things you can win out of the Womanium Quantum-less AI 2024 project. And this is how you can participate. So the only criteria over here to participate is that you should be successfully registered and enrolled in the Womanium Quantum-less AI 2024 program. Most of you who are hearing and listening to me right now must already be enrolled in this program. But those of you who might be viewing this recording later on YouTube need to register. So all of those who are seeing this slide for the first time and hearing about the program for the first time, take a pause over here, pause this video, and scan the QR code, register yourself in the program, and then move on to the next step. All nationalities, genders, age, everyone is welcome. We do not want to restrict on any kind of basis. So whether you are just starting out on your quantum journey or you're well experienced and well versed with quantum and AI, you are still welcome. Everyone and anyone is welcome in the entire project. What is the next step? So the first step over here, once you are registered, is to browse through our GitHub repo. The GitHub repo is linked over here. You can click on this link after the slides are shared, or you can also click on this QR code, take a snap, and then go to the GitHub repo. All the guidelines which I'm sharing today in this video are listed on the GitHub. Even additional guidelines on how to navigate all the projects, what are the project information, everything is listed on the GitHub. It is like the main final source of truth. So everything everywhere should be available on the GitHub. If you still have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us again on Discord. We'll be happy to answer any queries over there. But first, go through the GitHub. I'll show you where it is and how you navigate through the GitHub repository, but everything is listed over there. Once you go through the GitHub, you will see that there are 3 different projects for you to participate in, and go through all the participation guidelines and the project requirements very carefully, because that would help you decide which project you want to participate in. Once you're clear with which project you want to participate in, the next step is to build your ideal, the best team possible. So for that, we have 2 options. One is Discord and the other one is Zoom. We will be hosting casual happy hours and just getting to know each other sessions over Zoom. You can participate in that and get to know different people from different places all across the world and see who you might be comfortable participating with. The other is Discord. So we'll be opening a find your team kind of channel on Discord to help you find teams for the project, right? Again, the goal over here is to find new people with different skills, with someone who can bring something new to the table, right? Everyone can participate with their friends, but the goal over here is to connect and network with as many people as possible and really learn something new in the entire process. The third platform we'll be using for your participation is Canvas. You all will be familiar with Canvas. If you're not yet, you should be receiving links to join Discord and links to join Canvas on your welcome email. If you have not received that, reach out to us over Discord or by mail. We'll be happy to help you out. At Canvas, the final project and team submission will take place. So step number 1, GitHub, go through all the projects. Step number 2, Discord, find your teammates. Step number 3, once you're final with the project and your team, submit your team name and your members' teammates' name on Canvas. And at the very end, even your project submission goes onto Canvas. This is how everything will be structured. And right now, I'll quickly stop sharing my screen and move on to guiding you all on how to navigate through Canvas, GitHub, and Discord. So the first step, as I mentioned, was GitHub. So let me quickly open this GitHub link. Yeah, this link will be shared to you afterwards as well, so you can browse over there. But for now, yeah, this is what the Womanium Quantum 2024 GitHub link should look like. If you scroll down over here, you can see all the eligibility criteria, the project selection, everything very clearly mentioned over here. Quick things to note. Number 1, you should be registered in the Womanium Quantum program. If you're not yet registered, click on this link, register yourself, and once you are successfully enrolled, only then you can participate in the project. If I scroll down, team formation, one quick point over here to highlight is that every project has a unique maximum team size. And you want to look at this project repo individually to understand which project has what team size. Only that team size will be allowed in that project. Some of the projects have maximum 4. So in that case, up to 4 people can form a team. Less can also form, but not more than 4. Similarly, some projects have only 2 as the maximum limit. In that project, only 2 people can form a team. More than 2 participants are not allowed, and less is obviously welcome. The entire project work period is from July 5th to August 9th. You are free to start working on the projects before July 5th as well, but we will be considering this as the official time period, and you can start working on it afterwards as well. It's just that we wanted to have a clear 1-month time frame for you to focused work on this project. So that is what the timeline looks like. The end date is very strict. So all the projects should be submitted by the end of the day on August 9th. How do you submit a project? By simply forking this repository or forking the project repository and using that link of your team repository, submitting it on Canvas. How do we do that? Just give me a minute. I'll just walk you through that as well. Once you submit the project, the finalists will be announced on August 12th. So we are expecting a huge number of entries. A lot of teams will be participating, and it's not practically possible to invite every one of them to present their solutions. So we'll be announcing the finalists of the entire project on August 12th, and these finalists will have the opportunity to present the solutions to all of our industry partners, to the entire public, on the demo day, which is on August 15th. During this demo day, the final winners will also be announced. So whether you are winning Womanium grants or you are getting shortlisted for QSL fellowships, everything and the next steps will be announced on the demo day. What are Womanium grants? I just walked you through on the slide deck, but all that information is present over here as well. What are Womanium QSL fellowships? Again, everything is listed over here as well, also presented on the deck. The 3 key projects. So if you browse a little down, these are the 3 projects. The first one is using quantum and AI for climate, and this is with Womanium and the US Naval Nuclear Lab. If you click on this repo, you will be redirected to another GitHub repo where everything is present. I will walk you through that. How do we access these project-independent repos? But the other 2 projects are also listed down here: quantum machine learning for conspicuous detection in production with Womanium and Fraunhofer for ITWM. And the third one, development of novel quantum algorithms with Womanium and Classic. Everything should be clear by now. How do we access these algorithms and how do we move on to the next steps? I'll move on to that. But before that, quick code of conduct. So everyone should maintain very professionalism. You should not cheat. You should not harass, misconduct. You should very clearly respect intellectual property rights. So you should not use third-party resources. If you're using something which is not yours, please properly reference it. You are not allowed to use any logos, any names of our partnering industries as well. That is not your property. These are very specific logos from our industry partners. Participants are not allowed to use any kind of logos in their project submission. And please read through this code of conduct again to get yourself familiar with what is allowed, what is not allowed, how do you participate in the best reform. And if I just click onto this and move on to this particular project repo in general, I can read in bit more detail on what the entire project is. So this is the one with using QML for configured detection. Very clearly, it has been written that the maximum team size in this project is 2. So remember, go through each project, understand what is the maximum team size, and only then proceed to form your teams. We do not want any confusion over here, right? So different projects have different team sizes. Please understand the project well, understand what is the maximum team size required, and only then form your team. Eligibility, everyone is eligible for everything. So you are eligible to participate, you are eligible to win this project, win the Womanium grants, you are also eligible for QSL fellowships, and all successful project submissions will win the Womanium project certification. So the entire eligibility criteria is mentioned over here. And then if you click on this link over here, you will be redirected to the entire project description. So this is the technical description which you need to focus on for each project. What are the tasks? What are the deliverables? How do I navigate the problem? What is the problem statement? How do I gain points in this project? What is the final goal? Everything is very clearly listed in this project description. Today's recording will be uploaded over here. So after today's lecture, after today's session, we will get the YouTube recording and put it over here. This link should only start working then. Moving on to project description. So if I open this project description, this should be a PDF, and this is how it should look. So a quick project overview, what the project demands from you. If I scroll a bit down, what is the project duration? 4 weeks starting on July 5th, ending on August 9th. Again, repeating myself, the start date is flexible, so you can start working before July 5th, even after July 5th, that's okay. But the final submission is very strict. We won't be accepting any submissions after August 9th. Again, team size over here is maximum 2. All the eligibility criteria remains the same. And then there are clear deliverables of what the task is, what the project is all about. So stepwise, move through all the tasks and deliverables, start doing everything. And at the very end, you'll see the judging criteria as well. So the judging criteria very clearly mentions that tasks 4 and 5 are the most important ones, so you should prioritize them. However, if you can only complete tasks 1 to 3, you are still eligible for the Womanium project certificate. And these type of small criteria are there for each project. If you complete up to a certain level, you are eligible for the certificate. If you go beyond that, you get considered for grants, for QSL fellowships, and everything over there. The final fellowships, obviously, we want the best of the best of the best. So only the ones who are best technically, who have the best communication skills, whose presentations are the best, who tick all of the boxes in all kind of skills, will be selected for the QSL fellowships. So yeah, that is that. Some additional resources for you to go through. So these are all project dependent. Just repeating myself over here. Step number 1, go to GitHub, learn through all the projects, all the rules and guidelines, click on one specific project, go to the project repo, and then move on to understanding what the project requires. Each specific project has specific instructions. Go to this particular project description, a PDF should open, and in that PDF, you'll understand what all needs to be done in that particular project. So this was step 1, understanding what the project is all about. The second step is moving on to Discord and finding your teammate. So this is what the Womanium Discord server looks like. And if I just scroll down over here, this is a Quantum plus AI projects. This is something which should be open right now. We have 3 dedicated channels for each of the project where you can start discussing what the project is all about or how do you want to tackle different technical issues. You can also directly talk with the mentors and the team representatives from our industry partners over here. And then there's a dedicated channel for project team formation. So you can go over there, list down what kind of experience do you bring to the table, what kind of project are you interested in, and what kind of team members are you looking for. right? All three criteria should be very clearly listed so that you can have the best experience finding teammates over here. The final process, the final step, number one, GitHub, number two, Discord. The third one, the final one is your Canvas modules. So this is what the Canvas homepage looks like in the module section. All these are lecture modules. These are completely optional, but obviously recommended for you to do. If you want to do these modules, well, that's awesome. But even if you do not have the time and you would like to skip some of these modules, that's okay. If I just scroll down to the very last module, number 8. So this should be open for you very soon. This is what the project module is all about. The first module is just getting started. So all the GitHub links, all the Discord links are over here. The second quiz is about selecting your project and team. And this should be completed by the first deadline where you need to submit your team names, your project, and everything. Go to this particular quiz, select your project, select your team, and submit it. And finally, on August, when you are ready to submit your project, you go back to this quiz, to the submit your project section, click on this quiz, submit this, and submit your project. Remember, you need to submit your GitHub link in this particular quiz. So make sure that whatever GitHub you're working on is public. It is not private, because if it's private, we cannot access it and we cannot evaluate your solution. So make sure that your GitHub repo is public at all times. Coming back to my presentation, just give me a minute, and here we go. So I talked about how can you participate, what are the next steps, just a summary of the entire timeline. So as you see, today is June 24th, or if you're seeing this recording, this might be a little bit delayed, but we have now learned about what the projects are, what are the participation guidelines, and how do you find your perfect team. The next deadline is July 5th. Till July 5th, you need to register your teams and the project you'll be working on Canvas. The first quiz on Canvas 8.1 and 8.2 should be completed by July 5th. And then you have almost a month to work on your project. August 9th is the final submission deadline for submitting your projects. Again, your GitHub repo should be open, it should be public, and that GitHub repo should be submitted onto your Canvas question in the final quiz. Finally, the winners will be announced. The final presentations will take place on the demo day, which is August 15th. So we'll have a public webinar kind of a thing where anyone and everyone can participate, but only the finalists will be presenting the solutions, which is a huge deal. So basically, your presentation will be viewed by many people across the quantum industry. So it's also an opportunity for you to highlight and showcase what you have built in the program. The winners will be announced over here, and the ones who will be selected for the QSL fellowships, those fellowships will be started from September 1. And this is it. Before ending my today's presentation, again, a revision of the code of conduct. For participating, you must be successfully enrolled in the program. So if you are not enrolled yet, click on this link or go to the webpage at Womanium Quantum AI 2024. Register yourself, and till the point you do not get that welcome confirmation email, you are not registered. So make sure you do receive that mail. That mail would also include links for your Discord, for your Canvas, for GitHub, everything is available up there. Then you move on to project repositories. Make sure you understand what the project requirements are before forming your team, before selecting a project, before actually working on it. Make sure you understand everything. The deadline of the mission is very clear. It would not be changed. It is very strict. August 9th, end of the day, your project should be submitted. Just final highlighting some of the rules. You cannot use any third-party IP property, right? So any kind of intellectual property which is not your own, and that includes company names, company logos, any kind of literature code which you have not developed yourself, you are not allowed to use that in your project. If you are using it, and if you find that in your project repos, that submission will be immediately disqualified. So please take care of that. Double check you do not use any third-party property without proper referencing. Otherwise, you will unnecessarily be disqualified. Yeah, so that kind of sums up my today's presentation, and I'll quickly stop sharing my screen over here.